Like a motion for items D1 through D5.
So moved. Second?
Mrs. Becker and Mrs. Strong. Any discussion? Mr. Philipchak.
D4, if I understand it, Bernie, if you could help us out where I believe the state of New Jersey found 7 years ago, we had a semi-payment that needed to be adjustment.
Yes.
And our district benefited from not receiving that payment. And
Well-
now we bring it into the revenues now?
Well, pay us now or pay us later. We should have received from the state nearly $34,000 over a period of years, and that had not occurred. And as a result of an adjustment that was recognized by the state, they are providing this additional funds to us now. And in order to move those funds into our budget, we have to approve this resolution, which would allow an increase in the revenue and an increase to an appropriations line to offset.
Did we initiate this, or did the state initiate it?
No, this came from the state, and actually, it was the state notifying numerous school districts of this. We were not an isolated incident.
Thank you.
Just also within that particular item, just a note, a typo in the recommendation. It says 2015, 2015. It should be 2015, 2016. School district budget.
Excuse me, Bernie, I have a question as to why that money is being appropriated to construction services. I mean, I'm on building and grounds, I know what we spend there, but, you know, my thought is that it might want to go to the special education department, since that it's semi-funds.
Well, there's nothing identified in special education as far as additional items, but I'll tell you where we do need it, and that is the gymnasium project, because of the unknown conditions that I'm sure we're going to see more of while the demolition continues.
So there's no requirement that the semi-funds be used for special education?
Not at all. Not at all. The revenues, and we budget for those revenues every year, and it's just it is a financing component. It's a revenue component. There's no dedication of funds as to where it should go. And all of the needs.
Now, is that morally or legally?
Well, I think, I can respond from a legal perspective. I'm not going to speak from from the moral perspective on that, but that's how our budgets are created each year, based on what the revenues are, and then allocated accordingly. As far as I can recall, I believe all of the requests that were made for this year for special education were fulfilled.
They were.
And included in the budget.
Thank you.
Mr. Philipchak.
D5, Bernie, is this the first time we use the online auction service?
No, it is not. We just recently started utilizing the service. We are actually seeing quite a bit of activity utilizing the online auction service. So we want to continue going in that direction to see what kind of results we get.
I actually went to the website, and it was very, very interesting to see all the different districts, municipalities putting things up. What fee do we pay for that? Do you know what the percentage is?
We pay nothing.
Nothing, really?
The fee is paid by the purchaser.
Okay.
And I will tell you that in terms of activity, whenever we've had surplus items that have gone out for sale, and we've done the traditional route in the past where they've been advertised in the paper, we get no hits.
Right.
Typically doing it that route. Going through this methodology, we've gotten a very high number of hits on vehicles and radios, and yes, this has been working out very well.
Thank you.
And my question is the website on our district page?
No.
Okay, so the public, as we're talking about it, they wouldn't know about this unless they were watching this meeting.
That's true.
Okay.
So we could add a link, but that's a good idea. We can
It
add
is
a link
actually a good idea.
onto the district
Yeah.
webpage.
Right.
Yep.
It is advertised, it's still advertised.
Yes, it's still
Okay.
advertised, but easy access from the district's website, I think we can add a link, yeah.
Because that can only add to the number of people making the bids, add to
Right.
the dollar and cent sign going up.
It'll be there tomorrow.
It's a good
Kevin's
idea.
gonna be going on at midnight. Going, man, I want that Motorola bad.
Thank you, Doctor.
Any other questions? Need a roll call.
Yes. Mrs. Becker?
Yes.
Mrs. Chu?
Yes.
Mrs. Howard?
Yes.
Mrs. Lax?
Yes.
Mr. McAvoy?
Yes.
Mr. Philipchak?
Yes.
Mrs. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
Dr. Cohen?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. My error, can I have a motion for item D6? I didn't include that. I
So
said
moved.
D1 through 5.
Second.
Shaw and Mrs. Becker. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed and abstentions.